So, do you think that Gabe and Andre are the best team in pickleball right now?
I think right now you'd be hard. You kind of have to give it to them. They're the hottest team right now. It's been since April, since Ben and Colin have won a gold, but it's also been since July 1st, since Dylan and Jada have won a gold. So since then, the last 2 months, it's been completely wide open, and Gabe has been he's kind of making his mark in that last couple months.
But don't you think going into that match, despite that, I would generally agree, don't you feel like you would rather see Tardio and Andre versus Colin and Ben, or versus J-Dub and Dylan?
I think there's more variability with Gabe and Andre potentially. Last week in Salt Lake City, they barely escaped against Hayden and Pablo, I believe it was.
That was a great
right?
game. That was like one of my favorite games I watched this year.
Yeah, great match. I think did they maybe have some match points against them
They
too?
did,
Or
yeah.
So they barely escaped that one. I just think there's more variability with those guys, and we saw it a little bit, right? Game 1 they played pretty well. Game 2 they played, poorly. Game 3 I think both teams played well, and they eked that one out. I think that game 3 could have gone either way. And then game 4, they were the best team in the world. Like, we gave them some free stuff towards the end of it because we were just pressing. I was trying to hit really good returns and hit really bad returns instead. And we just could not put a ball away against Gabe.
It helps that y'all missed 4 returns in the last game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were getting crushed, unwinding stacks, a couple bad bounces, and a couple of talentless shots from me. So, but I don't know. So, who won Bristol and KC? Do you know that off the top of your head? So we had Andre and Gabe won Vegas. They also won Salt Lake City.
I should know. This is embarrassing. I'm blanking though.
This is embarrassing.
But so just generally while you're looking that up, what is your strategy going into that match? Is there a variety and you say, okay, we're going to come out with this one, adjust accordingly depending on how they play? Or is it or is there one strategy we're just going to stick to this the entire match?
I think, there's very few teams who can get away with saying we have one strategy and we're going to stick with it. There's got to be, there's adjustments, there's counter adjustments. So, the strategy generally was try and make Gabe hit some third shots because Andre, while his third shots aren't nearly as flashy, he just does such a good job of getting in off of the 5th or even the 7th. If you hit the return to Andre, he's gonna get in. So we thought that Gabe might hurt us more with his third shots, but he also might give us a little bit more to work with. In the rallies, we really wanted to avoid giving Gabe dead dinks, meaning dinks where he is the person dictating.
Yeah.
We have to keep Gabe honest, but when we do, we've got to make sure that it's a quality shot that he can't really do a ton with. We don't want to let him cook. Deckel and I felt like it was pretty safe for Deckel to go backhand to backhand with Andre, but Andre's hardly ever going to miss one of those dinks. So at a certain point, if we wanted a pop-up, we were going to have to change it up somewhere else as well. And then serve big.
And it was Kwong and Christian, of course, who won the Bristol gold medal.
Kwong and Christian.
Right.
Who got KC?
KC was Federico Saxrud and Gabe Tardio. So
Okay.
Gabe has 3 of the last 4 gold medals.
Gabe has 3 of the last 4. I don't know. All right, if you're power ranking the top 5 men's doubles teams right now, who are your top 5 and in what order?
I mean, power ranking, taking kind of the ebbs and flows of who's in good form. Andre and Gabe, I think you have to put them at number 1. It's kind of tricky, after that, because, Gabe and Andre don't always play together. So, do you put Federico and Gabe somewhere in there? But
We're going to say Gabe and Andre are off the board. They're a partnership. They seem to be the most... that is their most regular partnership, I would say.
Yeah.
And I'd say Federico is probably with Matt Wright at this point. So let's rank these 5 teams. Ben and Colin, J-Dub and Dylan, Gabe and Andre, Did I say Fed and Matt already?
No,
Fed and Matt, Hayden Pablo.
the bros.
And then let's say Christian is switching up partners, but let's say Christian and Riley. Those 6.
That was fun to see them play together. Yeah.
Yeah. I like them together a lot, actually. But those 6, who are you power ranking? And if there's anybody else that I forgot, leave a comment down below, and then you can go yourself. I'm just making sure the editors are.
Damn.
Sorry,
Good.
Tom.
Is the swear jar back? The swear jar is back, baby. We are back.
Can we edit that out?
Well, I probably would put Andre and Gabe first. And then, like, it's been a while since J-Dub and Dylan have won a gold, but I don't know. I still feel like I'd maybe have them in the 2 or 3 spot. Pablo and Hayden have been dangerous too. I think I would definitely put Andre and Gabe first right now. Like, the fact too that they like could not get over the hump of beating J-Dub and Dylan. They lost them in an APP final. They lost them at the U.S. Open. They lost them at PPA before, and they finally beat them like in the semifinals. That's huge. Yeah.
So is Gabe? Where does he rank personally in top 5 male pickleball players?
Yeah. I mean, he's got to be top 5, but I feel like he just doesn't get enough credit for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, you were just looking in the last 4 weeks. He has 3 gold medals. So,
Yeah.
like, the conversation, if we had this a month
Well, he
ago,
also has a mixed gold too, right?
exactly
Yeah, the mixed gold is wild.
which is crazy too because he is doing very poorly in MLP with Kate Fahey on the St. Louis Shock and mix. They're like something like 3-20 or something. So, yeah.
So the problem with a right side player is you're always going to be at the mercy of your left side player, right? So if Gabe had a 10.0 duper from the right side, right? Absolute best player in the world, it's a little bit too easy to get isolated out in a match, right? So it's hard to say, can you be the best player in the world from the right side? Maybe, but you have to have at least somebody who is capable enough of supporting you from the left side. And I think, I don't want to diminish Andrei Daescu whatsoever. I think there's a very strong argument that he's a top 5 player, like at least within the top 8. I don't think there's any doubt in that. But I mean, Gabe is the offense in that team primarily, right?
I mean, and if you
Andre
look
has
too
unbelievable hands.
Look to at Christian Alshon playing on the right lately, with Kwon getting the gold against Johns Brothers in Bristol. Like, I think maybe you can be the best player from the right now.
But you can just get isolated out.
That's
too
true.
well.
That's true.
So if let's say Ben is playing with a replacement level professional pickleball player, like Ben can still be the best in the world because he can take over from that left side. There really isn't takeover ability from the right side when you are a right-handed player because your backhand is in the middle. Christian does a good job of flicking that backhand from the middle, and then Gabe does a good job of reaching in with his forehand and doing some like double jointed wrist type of crap, right? And so the 2 best players from that right side, excluding Dylan Frazier, but he's in that conversation as well, can both create offense from the center. But one of the things that we knew was safe in that match was Deckel going backhand to backhand with Andre. Now, if Gabe did not have Andre over there or had somebody who wasn't as solid at backhand dinking, we wouldn't have this conversation. Gabe wouldn't be winning the same amount, right? If Gabe had a replacement level player on the other side, he wouldn't have won any of those golds. Not because of him, like he deserves it, but so I don't know. I don't think you can be the world's best player as a right-handed player from the right side.
But to be the world's best team, you need to have somebody who can still insert themselves.
100%. I think Gabe is making a very strong argument to be if not the best argument, he's the best right side player recently.
By the time this airs, I think we will have a giveaway live with 10 of Jeannie Bouchard's signature Versix paddles. So there'll be 10 winners, and one of the winners will get a pickleball box as well. So once this goes live, that giveaway should be live. You can check on any of our social media accounts. Just go to the link tree, and it'll be the first thing listed. So that's tr.ee/dinkfam, and win a Genie Bouchard paddle.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, rather had fun,